What do you wish wasn't so expensive? Rent. Rent is so expensive we can't save for a mortgage that would put us better off in the long run. It sucks, especially in places like Los Angeles and New York City. Paying $3,000 a month to live in a closet is commonplace there. Expenses for raising children. It's scary that children have become a luxury item. Luxury item? Sell, take profit. Dental care. I spent $5,000 to get Invisalign. I'm poor, but no longer want to be told I'm poor because of my terrible teeth. It's a shame that so many people are unable to afford proper dental care. I'm really thankful I have great teeth because the cost is just impossible for average income, even with benefits. Your like and subscription will really help my channel. Life in general. With rising funeral costs, you can't afford to die either. Therapy. My financial situation is why I'm depressed. That sucks. Anyways, that will be $120. Therapy cost is like phase 2 of a boss fight. Just when you think that you've won the battle by powering through the anxiety and mustering enough willpower to actually see a therapist, therapy cost shows up with full health and one-shots you to the shadow realm. My insulin and diabetic supplies. It's unreal how much I pay just to stay alive and healthy. I didn't ask to get pancreatitis. I didn't ask to become type 1. Life's unfair, but you have to keep your head up and not be so angry all the time. Cost of basic utilities and fuel prices in Australia are through the roof. Luckily, our federal treasurer gave us great advice on how to afford. It was to just get a better paying job. And poor people don't really have cars or drive far anyway if they do. Meanwhile, he said this on TV while sitting in a leather wing-bound chair in front of a fireplace with a picture of a thoroughbred horse above the mantel. Glasses. Seriously, hundreds of dollars for plastic frames and plastic lenses? Groceries. I didn't understand how my parents could waste $100 per fortnight on groceries as a kid. The other day, I spent $50 on razors, paper towels, and a couple snacks. Growing up, my mom spent $800 a month on groceries for 7 to 8 people. I routinely spend $400 a month now for just myself and my spouse, and we try to be frugal. That ends up being a 100% increase in cost over the last 20 years, but my salary can't compare to those 20 years ago. Groceries are a massive percentage of my income. What depresses me is that most of these responses are for things people actually need. It's almost like without major policy reform, life itself is a luxury. To buy an apartment in my country, you need to win 2 to 4 game shows. The young people in my country are split into 2 groups. Those whose only chance at owning a home is inheritance after their parents die, and those who don't even have that luxury. If you look at house prices from the 80s to the 90s, it's shocking how much they've gone up compared to how little wages have gone up. Graphics cards became much more expensive during the mining crisis. Funerals. As someone who is arranging my husband's funeral and he had no life insurance, the whole thing is a racket. Mom passed away in October, no life insurance, had to cremate and put her in a cardboard box. Still cost close to $1,500, and my siblings couldn't afford to help. Quality education, full scholarships, and grants are very rare. Asthma inhalers. How are you going to steal all of my money just so I can breathe? And formula. It's not my fault I couldn't breastfeed. Stop robbing me every time I have to buy food for my daughter. Razor cartridges and printer ink. And also put me as Anwell for beef jerky. EpiPens. Would be nice, but nah. I got a fear for my life every time I think about wanting a dessert that wasn't homemade. The worst part to me is the cost of materials for an EpiPen is so negligible. The epinephrine itself costs maybe $1. The materials to make the device probably cost like $5, and they charge us more than $300. EpiPen costs £9 to the consumer here in the UK. The cost to the consumer in the US is more than $500. Why do you tolerate this? Your government allowing companies to shamelessly rip off their own people. Cheese. God, I would die for some smoked Gouda. Activities. I want to take my kid out to enjoy the holiday season and do Christmas things, but I can't afford to drop $60 plus every time we go see something new and exciting. And that's just for the 2 of us. God forbid her dad wants to come, and now we have to get 2 adult tickets. Taking dogs to the vet is very expensive these days. I manage a vet practice. I wish I could make things cheaper, but it is incredibly expensive to run a practice, and the margins are thin. Your like and subscription will really help my channel. Thanks a lot for your donations.